All right, cool.
Hey, how you guys doing? This is KLA Cloud the Wanderer. I have a special guest today. It's not a bodybuilder, but it's a comic book artist. His name is Ethan Ferina. He's the
Yes.
creator of Frenzy Comics, and he's gonna tell how he got started into it, and I'm looking forward to him and how he created Reptilia.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was checking your how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Yeah, I was checking your comic at IG. I mean, I was coming across your stuff on IG and stuff, and I seen your
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah, and I was kind of like, I thought it was cool, like the simple way of saying it.
Thank
Yeah, so what you did, it was like it's like a time travel girl or something like that.
Yeah. So the basic concept of what the whole thing is it's a time traveler who can like use her technology to speak to dinosaurs and hop through portals, and you find her in like various different periods of history. And her favorite thing is to use those dinosaurs to like help her navigate through all these different situations he comes across in different periods of time.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So what got you? How the process went for you, like in creating this? Like how would you say, like what kind of elements that that kind of gave you this concept of the time travel girl? Was it through movies or anything like that, or?
uh I'd say like cartooning, like animation mainly, and then obviously comic books. I was more of an animation person than comic books. um but I had a high school background with film and like cinematography, so that also had an influence with it. But really, I grew up loving dinosaurs, and I just wanted a comic book character who could basically just use dinosaurs as kind of her weapon, is in a weird way of putting it, but so to speak.
Yeah, yeah, I seen it. It was kind of pretty. Let me show the viewers like your drawings and stuff. So
Oh,
oh, oh,
yeah, that
sorry.
was a while ago.
Yeah. Like it took you time to like like develop her, right? I think you did this like
Oh, yeah.
you did like one drawing like 2017.
Yes, the I had her concept in like I started writing her in like 2016. 2017 is when I
Oh,
started like designing her like actual drawing like concept.
yeah, this is cool, man. Like
Thank you.
you, you went to you attended the school of Joe Kubert.
Yes, I am a graduate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have a friend. I have a old classmate. His name is Damian Scott, and he used to draw like the Batgirl with Cassandra Cain, the version. I don't know if you went to
Okay.
Batman or not. Yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah, he worked with DC, Marvel, and all that stuff. And
that's
you
cool.
know, yeah, so yeah, this is
Yeah.
yeah. You created like the trading card and all that stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, that's going to be available in the Kickstarter I'm launching November 1st for this upcoming comic. It's going to be an anthology with all sorts of different stories just kind of thrown together, just so you can like get a idea of what the character is about.
Yeah. So how you got into what made you get into art? Was it always like a childhood interest or anything like that, or?
Uh, well, I was always like doodling. It was just like really the only thing that I was the best at. But I did try other bigger things like filmmaking, and it just didn't really work out. So like when I graduated high school, I went to community college and found comic art to be like the best route, because these days with social media and everything, it's so accessible to just write your own stories and just publish it to the world. It's a really, really the best time for independent comics like this.
So do a lot of people like purchase your comics? Right?
Yeah, actually, when I go to conventions, they like I have little mini booklets. Um, I have a PDF of them available on my Linktree, which is on my Instagram. But I've been selling those little mini like 10-page comics, and they've been selling. So
Okay.
next month is my first Kickstarter. So that's when I'm going to have like an actual like 50-page like pretty hefty nice booklet available.
Um, so you did like a compilation or
Pretty, yeah, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It's like different,
oh,
it's like self-contained stories just mingled into one book.
okay. Like what kind of adventures like do she got like enemies or anything like that or
Yeah, yeah. So I kind of toy with the concept of her main like nemesis, so to speak, being this like time god that really like he's the omnipotent being. He controls how her story goes and everything. But there's also like historical figures that like toying with that. She runs into like dinosaurs that are far too intelligent, for instance, or gods that are in control of stuff. It's a comic book. There's like a bunch of wacky concepts, but I do like to mingle everything with like history and everything, just for like a little educational aspect.
yeah, yeah, I draw and stuff, but I don't draw as much, like I would, I took like courses in like in animation, and I didn't. That was like years ago though. So
As time,
but it always, yeah, I always wanted to like like interview like artists or animators and stuff like that. So
mm,
yeah, yeah. I could show the viewers like what you did with the animation. So
sure,
yeah, I had to block that. She's kind of nude and stuff. YouTube
yeah,
they be on some more BS about it, but it's cool. Like, what was the process of doing that? Like with the comic book, like but you like you like a one man army with it? Like you like the colorist, the illustrator? Yeah.
yeah. Full process, as they say in the industry. The full scripting, writing, well, yeah, same thing. Scripting, drawing, inking, coloring, and then lettering. And then, printing, that's a whole other process in itself. I do that myself also. I have like those little mini booklets I was talking about earlier. I print them out of just like normal paper, just printer paper out of my own printer, and just fold them in half, and then you have a little booklet.
Yeah. So, I mean, could you walk me a little bit like you just like drew, you just happen to draw you wrote the story and then you kind of like drew like a layout and then just
Yeah,
drew
yeah.
like the
You'll like thumbnail the process, the whole like page. You'll thumbnail all the panels that you want, uh, based
yeah.
on the script that you wrote. And I like to write my script myself so I can deviate from it a little bit. But yeah, you go from the script to the layout to the pencils, and then you ink the pencils, and then you color the inks, and then right off to lettering.
Oh. And then like you like if like you'll work like a page like how long do you like work up on a page like you do two page a day or
It depends. Sometimes I'll take a day, sometimes a page is harder than the other, so it'll take me, like, a week or so, but I usually put them down for a little bit and, like, let, like, ideas come to me to overcome those obstacles, so it does take a minute sometimes, but I usually like to take altogether, like, a month on, like, a 10-page as of now.
Okay. Like, do you like read other comic books like outside what you do or anything
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, I like to collect, Kickstarter comics, so, like, in other indie comics, they're a lot of fun. Um,
Kickstarter. I don't
yeah,
think
that's
I've
what I've been doing.
ever heard of Kickstarter. What kind of comics they have? Like,
Uh, it's hard to define really anything. There's no limits, really. I've seen
yeah.
there are, like like, space sci-fi comics, there are westerns, there are all sorts of things.
Uh, I
I like to
always was kind of. No, I was just saying like I was always kind of like used to DC or Marvel or something like that. And
right.
then like I like maybe like if outside those genres, I'll kind of look at Walking Dead or something like that. You know,
Mhm.
Robert Kirkman stuff. You were saying something. I'm sorry, cut you off.
No, I don't remember what I was saying.
Oh, okay, okay. But yeah. So you also like do you do like other projects or anything like that or?
Yeah, my buddy Zach, I'm working on the inks for his project Voyage. That is actually live on Indiegogo. If you want to check that out, it's pretty cool. It's about it's like a space sci-fi story about it, like a cool, like badass purple alien.
Okay, that's
Um,
cool. Like what's like like do you watch like Marvel movies or anything like that?
yeah,
Comic books, these
yeah. I
things like
haven't been lately, but I loved like the original Marvel, the first like MCU movies. They were really cool.
yeah,
Um, but I do still keep up to date, even if I don't, enjoy the latest movies particularly. Uh, yeah, I'm
yeah.
all that stuff.
Nah, go ahead.
No, I was finished.
Oh, nah, the last comic book movie I seen was The Flash, and it
Oh,
has
really?
something to do with time travel.
Yeah.
So it was like based on the Flashpoint.
Mhm.
I never read the series, but I knew about it. Where the evil Flash, I think he killed his mother in it. His mother was murdered. Flash, Barry Allen's mother was murdered, and so he wanted to reverse time. And every time he tried to reverse time, it didn't go the way he wanted to go.
All right.
So yeah, and then he kind of like became like an evil Flash, but an alternate type of Flash, like multiverse and stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, it was interesting, but it wasn't, it wasn't as great, like as I thought it was going to be. So,
The
it
the
was so-so.
story the story that movie was written from was really good. Um, uh,
Yeah,
I don't I don't think I read the comic, but I did see the actual, they have a cartoon version of it, an animated movie,
I
and
think I
it's
know
really
what you're talking about. Yeah,
that's
yeah, I think I know. I need to like, I, I need to like rent some videos from YouTube and stuff like that. Like,
mm,
yeah. So that's yeah.
yeah,
So you also like Dragon Ball Z.
yes. I love Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball was definitely not necessarily an inspiration for my Reptilia story, but I do have another story, that I'll be working on eventually that's definitely, like, heavily inspired by Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball.
Yeah, yeah. But I kind of stopped with. I think the last episode I seen, the last part I seen was when Goku was fighting Frieza.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't go further than yeah. I didn't go further than that. Yeah,
Cell is like the best saga. You gotta finish that one. That's like the next one.
but then again, I'm lying because I seen the GT, the Dragon Ball GT, where he becomes a kid again.
Hmm.
Yeah, that I see some of that because sometimes it would come on the Cartoon Network and stuff, and some there was some episodes I would look at, but I wasn't so heavily into it, but I would look at it. It was cool. Yeah. Do you look at manga animation and stuff like that, or does
Uh,
that be?
well, yeah, I watch anime. I collect a few. I haven't gotten too big into collecting manga specifically, but there are the few that like I do have a few issues of the Dragon Ball Z manga. I have some Attack on Titan manga. It's good reference because anime really knows how to capture movement in comics and in like a two-dimensional format. That's really hard to do. Like I went through 3 years of cartooning school, and it's still like there's you really got to figure out your own science to that. So like collecting manga helps with like motion specifically for me.
What made you wanted to do like your own independent comic? Like you could have just you didn't want to do like the Marvel universe or the DC universe or something. Yeah.
Yeah, there is the reality that that is really hard to get into Marvel and DC,
Yeah.
and also I kind of don't like being told what to do.
Yeah,
I like
I
writing my
understand.
own story, and
Yeah.
it's like there are going to be some things that like you can't really do when like Marvel is like looking like kind of breathing down your neck.
Yeah.
So like independent, like there's really no limitations. You can have like a a girl with like a buxom figure to like sell to some fan base, and it wouldn't you wouldn't necessarily be stopped as easily if you were like a part of another company. But that's just an example, of course.
Have you ever been to like a comic book convention where you want to just showcase your work to somebody and they give you these criticisms and stuff like
Yeah,
what you should done?
yeah. In the Kubert School, the first year they actually take you to New York Comic Con, and they get you to showcase your portfolio to people, and some give good critiques, some aren't necessarily into it. They're kind of just trying to sell their stuff, but yeah, that's a part of the process. They really make you look for criticisms in people.
Yeah, I mean, because I remember last time I went to Comic Con, this was like 2012. That's when I see my classmate, that do, comics and stuff. And, I did draw, sometimes there were times like I would be like in and out of drawing. I don't draw like it's almost like when I feel like it. But, I was kind of doing my own thing, like draw like comic strips and stuff a little bit.
Mhm.
And then, so somebody invited me to go there, and I showcased some. I got a little feedback. Somebody had told me that maybe I could do it on Photoshop. So at the time, I didn't really know too much about Photoshop. Like I do maybe now, but but the other like artists, like they were like from like DC and Marvel. It was a bit like they were kind of like harsh criticism, but it was a bit valid. Like one person they told me that the drawings I had was a bit stiff, and other people they'll be like it gotta be a passion.
Mhm.
And so I remember one guy he told me that I had to like go to art school, like go to like take an art class and like with the anatomy with a naked person and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, I never did that. I took like a course like in still life, and that
Mhm.
was it. Yeah, so one time I went to a museum and I started. They took us to a museum and we would draw like statues and all that stuff. That's how far I went to inanimate objects and three-dimensional stuff, drawing. So yeah, yeah, it's not. That was like the last time I went to like a comic convention. It's like 2012. So and yeah,
Or, uh, I don't think I've been to one then. I don't remember when the first one I went to was. It was around like, it had to be around like 2017 or something like that. But I can only imagine they've definitely gotten crazier since then. Like, the whole industry has exploded since 2012. Like, because 2008 was like the first um, Iron Man movie, right? Was it 2008? I
but
think.
yeah, 2008. Yeah.
So that
Hmm.
really, the MCU really contributed to the comics industry just exploding. So, and also anime also contributes a lot to it. So Comic Con it's wild. Like, all
Yeah.
the cosplayers and everything they get up to. There's contests and everything. It's a really fun time if you ever are able to. I wasn't able to go to New York Comic Con this year, but it's a fun show to go to if you can.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they had people like doing the cosplay. That was interesting. I was
Mhm.
thinking about going, but it's like you got to do like something in advance, and it costs like 500 and stuff, and that's like my paycheck.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. It's an
so
expensive table.
yeah, yeah. So you said so you're based in New York, right? New York City.
No, I'm in New Jersey.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, you're not that far from me.
no,
I'm
no.
in Brooklyn.
I'm
Yeah,
right across the Hudson.
yeah. So like with animation, are you still doing that or practicing that? Well, I
Uh,
don't know.
it's I've had to put it down to focus on the comic I want to release, but that's a long term thing I want to get into and slowly kind of teach myself about it. I was using pixel art to kind of like make it easier for me so that I don't have to get too in depth into detail, and then I could maybe learn that down the way.
No.
But yeah,
It,
definitely down the
it,
road,
it,
I'm looking at cartooning.
yeah, yeah. It caught my interest. Like your character is um she like women and stuff.
Yeah, yes,
Oh, okay.
exclusively.
Oh, what made you want to do that? It's kind of interesting.
Honestly, it's just the first thing I knew about that character, other than she was centered around dinosaurs, is that she had like this specific personality. I, I couldn't see her dating a guy. It didn't make sense to me. She just has this
Oh.
like tough girl personality, and it's a little bit too tough for a guy to deal with.
Yeah, I kind of understand. This. I mean, that's like the modern women for today.
Mhm.
So some are a bit masculine, some, So I get it. But yeah, it's cool. Like when I seen it, I was like, wow, this is pretty nice. I like the way how you illustrated that.
Thank you.
Like yeah. Do you see like yourself doing other projects besides that? Wait, I think you said you're working on a space adventure, something like
Yeah, Voyage. If
voyage.
you want, if
Okay.
you want to look that up on Indiegogo, it's really cool. It's a really good story. My buddy Zach, he's really passionate about this project. Um, but yeah, I have Reptilia is just like the start because I have this Frenzy Comics label. There's gonna be other stories, like on I don't know. You saw the cover that I was gonna use for this anthology comic I'm running. There's a little demon character you can see. He's like a green demon. He's another character I'm going to work with eventually. And in that story, he gets his own little mini comic where he faces off with Reptilia. So
Oh, okay.
eventually, I'm going to
So
work with that as like a another title to work with.
so it's basically like a spin-off type of thing.
Uh,
Would
not
you say?
not necessarily a spin-off. I guess you could consider it that. I guess I'm thinking because like I had his idea first, like watching Dragon
Yeah.
Ball in high school and all that, and then Reptilia was actually a spin-off of a gargoyle, which is that character Gargoyle. She was a spin-off of that character where she was the villain who would just kind of sick dinosaurs at him through portals, and he'd have to navigate through that problem. Um,
Oh.
but I just love the character so much. She became a headliner, and like times now, they're just like it's a perfect time for a story like Reptilia.
Mm. Yeah, that that's something that you could make like it into a movie, or or
Definitely,
it kind of almost, yeah, it kind of she kind of reminds me of Laura Croft a bit.
yeah. Lara
Yeah,
Croft. A lot
but
of people
time
say that.
traveling.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
time travel, the two pistols, the yeah. Rogue is another comparison from X Men.
yeah. Oh, I didn't ever thought about that one. Wow, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
the bouncy hair and everything. I've gotten that. Especially
Yeah,
with the Savage Land, she has all dinosaurs surrounding her and everything. But
oh, that's
yeah,
interesting.
movies are not out of the question. I see myself looking more towards like cartoon, like animations, and video games before like a live action movie. But long term ambitions, definitely.
Yeah. Who would you want to to play your character? Like if you had that choice.
I don't know. I'm not the best with celebrity names. You, that's a tough one. I've never
Scarlett
thought about.
Johansson?
Huh?
What about Scarlett Johansson?
Uh, I don't think she's. I don't think she's
Nah,
tough enough.
yeah.
She's got to
Well,
be tough.
yeah, I remember she played besides the Scarlet Witch, she played like this movie Lucy where she has like these supernormal powers,
Yeah, yeah.
and she played the Japanese woman from Ghost in the Shell. She
Mhm.
was an android and stuff. Yeah. So, I don't know. So,
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have to think about that. That's definitely one I'm gonna be thinking about.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. I just wanted to talk to you a bit about your comic, man. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like so I go online and it's like how like it like purchase it. Like is it cheap or
Oh yeah, the for the Kickstarter, there are a bunch of different options if you wanna. That's what's cool about Kickstarter. Like I'm funding a comic, but it's based on like a tier based system. So you can get if you want to get the whole 50-page comic, it could be like there's a $15 tier that'll get you the comic, it'll get you a sticker and I think a trading card. But if you want to go lower than that and you just want to get like one of the stories, I can get you like one
right,
of those little mini comics, and that would
right.
be like I think that's a $5 tier.
All right. Yeah,
So
yeah. I could put it
you
on my phone, download it
yeah,
on my through my phone.
if
Yeah,
you get
yeah. I'm gonna check
Kickstarter,
it out.
Kickstarter app.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out, man. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, man, giving me your time a bit.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. It's I
No
love
doubt,
talking about
man. Yeah, I mean, do you got anything for the viewers, or I don't know.
it. Well, other than I think I've said it before, but next month is the Kickstarter. If you want to check it out, Tempus Insanitus, it's called.
All right. Yeah, man. Good luck to you, man. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
All right, folks. That's it. See y'all later.